T to the V to the L to the I to the N to the E, TVLine.
Welcome back to another edition of Reality Check, your weekly deep dive into all things American Idol and The Voice. I'm Michael Slezak from TVLine.com. I am here with American Idol Season 6 standout, Melinda Doolittle. Catch her on tour at some point in the next 12 months, or don't and hate yourself. What? And speaking of hating ourselves, Kimberly Nichole, as predicted on this show by yours truly, fell well short of The Voice Season 8 semifinals.
Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for the great Kimberly Nichole who leaves us tonight.
I feel like I got punched in the gut. That's what I feel like.
Someone threw your shoe back at you, and it was like a heavy boot.
My shoe and my wig right up in my face. I don't understand. I was doing an event on Tuesday night, so I couldn't tweet to save her, and it broke my heart. I know that I can't single-handedly save anybody.
It was 50-50 the last time they showed us the thing on screen. I was actually threatening that people would be dragged to hell. Voice save Kimberly or risk being dragged to hell. And it still didn't work. Free Fallin' was not her best performance. She picked a bad time to sort of overbake the vocal. But you can't tell me that Joshua Davis or India Carney belongs in the finale instead of her. How, what, who, when, where, and why? All these questions.
I'm not okay with it. And then she rescued it on Dirty Diana. Can you imagine that back bend where she was like coming up, going back, coming up, going back? That ending was insane. Even though The Voice tried to choke her with smoke. I don't get it. I don't get it, America. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
The crotch grab may have been a little too much for America. Maybe a little too much.
I can see that. It wasn't a complete crotch grab.
Also, she didn't have junk to grab. She's not a dude. And then on the sing-off,
back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette.
That Seven Nation Army was like so stank.
She easily won. So I guess I don't get why it was so close.
And the message coming from my eyes says leave it alone.
I'm gonna blame Christina Aguilera for this.
You're less than perfect.
Christina Aguilera had the opportunity to say, look, India, you're a lovely girl. I will root for you when you're on Miss America in 2 years, but one of you won the sing-off and one of you did not. I encourage people to vote for Kimberly.
Either way you slice it tonight, I'm gonna be happy and I'm gonna be heartbroken.
Kimberly has the proven ability to crack the top 10 on iTunes, something India has not done all season long. You go with your strong contestant. Instead, she's like, vote either way, it's all good.
Vote, vote, vote. Vote for who you're passionate about, who you want to stay on Team Christina.
Girl, this is not the time to play nice. This is the time to win. Or at least finish second to Sawyer Fredericks. I don't think there's any way India survives into the finale unless Adam does something really terrible to Joshua Davis. But then again, wasn't the arrangement of Desire and the choice of Desire by you two excruciating? And it still did really well on iTunes, and he wasn't even in the bottom 2.
Listen, I love him. I really, really do. I love his voice. But I do not think he had a great week at all.
He's a really talented guy. Yes. He's a perfect 6th place finisher on season 8 of The Voice, because it's a very talented group. He was made to finish 6th. Even his Beatles cover, it was just sort of...
Some are living in my life. I've loved them all.
There's not fire. There's not fire. Corinne Hawthorne.
Ooh!
That girl has fire. Now that girl had one really bad performance with Dream On.
Dream on, dream on, dream on, dream on.
The problem is that on a song like Dream On, if you're gonna do it, you at least need to go for that ending.
Everybody Hurts was not pitch perfect either, but she just feels it so deeply. It's hard to not take the ride with her.
Oh, no, you're not
I'm just making a stank face. This has been a stank season of The Voice.
Yes, it has.
And also capable of stank is Meghan Linsey, but just like with Dream On, only even worse, I truly hated Steamroller Blues. I mean, she takes a sledgehammer to every dang note. Girl, have you heard the word dynamic? She needs Harry Connick Jr. to come in and say in a really haughty tone, have you ever heard of the term dynamics? For those of you who are so dumb in the audience who've never heard arrangement, dynamics, blah, blah, blah.
You are so worked up right now.
So worked up.
What's going on? You could change up some of the rhythm. When it's a blues song, the same thing happens over and over and over and over again. So you have to find a way to make it more exciting.
She could bring Mia Z back to teach her how to do that. Oh, girl, I went there.
Shoot.
Oh, you know, I said that. Lost in all of our chit chat is the fact that the obvious winner of season 8, Sawyer Fredericks, had a really great week. I loved that first song he sang. Never heard it before.
Nope.
Wasn't even that invested to go out and hear what the original sounded like because I just loved his version.
Yes, I will give you hope. I am learning as I go.
He gets in touch with the song in a way that nobody else can. And it's so simple.
He even said last week, he was like, I just like to sing for myself on the farm. I'd be thinking like, cha-ching. That's why I'm not a pure artist. How can I monetize this?
You're probably more of the executive. That's fine. We need those two.
Those who can't do, try to make money off of it.
There you go.
All right, let's change lanes. Let's talk Idol. So this was the week when Rayvon finally went home. Melinda, I'm sorry. I know you love him like Keith Urban loves tight t-shirts. He had a good run. He made it all the way to 4th place. He got a hometown visit 1 week short of the finale, which he's going to be back performing on anyway. Can you feel good about it?
I can feel great about it. That's how far I made it.
Give me a hand for him. This is the champion.
One more time for Rayvon, everybody.
I mean, I know I made it to 3rd place, but at the end of the day, I made it to the hometown visits and the week before the finale. I'm happy with the top 3. Like, I'm not mad at them. I don't think somebody took his place or anything, so.
Right. And it's funny because this is the point in the season where everyone is vocally exhausted, mentally worn down, and yet the absence of the green and red chairs and the predetermined performance order brought out the best in all 4 singers. What do you know?
Life aches and troubles can make you wish you were born in another time and space.
I loved Rayvon's version of As. I loved that he got to do something up-tempo, upbeat, prove that he can sing more than ballads. Anyone who knows the song Sweatshirt
You can wear my headphones playing on my song.
knows that the guy can do up-tempo. I think he struggled with song choice all season long. I think song choice was a big issue for him, as was perfect for him. It made me so happy. I feel like that's his high note and he leaves on that high note and I'm okay with that.
That God knew exactly where you wanted to be polite. I'll be loving you.
We complain about song choice, and then when I interviewed Tiana Jones this week, she's like, yeah, we had 25 songs for Anthems Week. Why are they so damn stingy?
There were more anthems Wednesday night than there were during Anthem Week.
If Idol called us in January and said, these are our theme weeks, could you each suggest 100 songs that might fit these themes? Wouldn't you just be like pro bono? I will help you to come up with a list of 100. I would do it for free.
I was with you up until pro bono. I mean, I love to help people. I'm all about that, but pro bono, they only getting 25. They're not getting 100.
See, the show is bringing out your inner executive as well. I love it. All right, inner executive, who's going to win this season? And is it the person who should win this season?
I think it's going to be Jax or Nick, even though I actually feel like Jax could own it more. I think it may be Nick. He doesn't do anything different to the song or anything like that, but if handed the correct song, he just works it.
He rarely hits a bad note. Because the night was lovely.
Awesome.
Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to us.
I really liked that song about going back to your hometown that I'd never heard before.
La la la, yeah.
That la la business. He was so into it and having such a great time, and I felt it.
Hey,
I'll be. How many damn times do I have to hear I'll be? And it was just sort of note for note. There wasn't any variation.
Well, I'll be the greatest fan of your life.
I'm trying to think like Scott Borchetta seems to be thinking, because he seems way Team Nick. Like,
I think he's like almost in love with Nick.
Nick.
He must be thinking like,
Nick.
a great producer, the right song, this is gonna take it far.
If you told me take everything you own and you have to bet it on one contestant to win, I would probably put my money on
Nick.
He's just rising at the right time. He hasn't been overly pimped, but he's been pimped just enough. And now they're starting up the pimpage even more. And he seems to be getting better and ironing out the problems that they had with him at the beginning of the season. So he probably will win. But it just makes me a little sad that someone might win American Idol without taking a chance. At least Jax, girl, you know, was her misery business? Did it sound nice? Not really.
I never meant to cry. I steal it all away from you now. And if you could, then you know you would.
For God's sake, she's trying to give me some Jax. And I want her to win. She has just really thrown herself into this process of figuring out who she is as an artist, of trying to keep us excited and engaged. My God, without her, the last few weeks would have been rough going for me as somebody who just likes to be challenged and excited.
People try to put us to down.
I feel like Jax owned her first two performances.
Did you ever imagine her singing My Generation?
You get me?
Jax. It's the Jax generation.
No. But listen, Scott Borchetta had some great picks.
Yeah.
Like, for all the goateeness and all the music has value junk on his shirt, for all that, he tends to have great taste in music.
I felt authentic rocker chick from her, and some of her other rocker chick moments haven't felt quite as authentic, but I bought it.
I'm not trying to cause a big sensation.
When she jumped up to Teddy, I completely flipped out.
Teddy, hey!
I was like, get it, and then Teddy was like giving her a little like,
My generation, my generation.
And then for her to sit down at the piano on that second one.
My Immortal was beautiful. It was beautiful.
And you scream and fight with all of your fears.
With every passing hour since Wednesday night's show ended, I've become increasingly more concerned that she might fall short of the finale, because Misery Business was her last performance. It was the last impression she left.
It's a week before the finale. It's about stealing the show. You got to steal the show.
I think she can do it, but I feel like we can't count Clark out.
There are people right now laughing in our face for counting Clark out.
My issue is that something about his soul never quite reaches his eyes. Ugh, I hate that. But vocally, that guy's a beast.
Beast or bee?
The first song, pitch was an issue.
Touch me and take me to that other place.
I think he's been on a downward trajectory, momentum-wise and performance quality-wise. Beautiful Day, I mean, it wasn't Lee DeWise's Beautiful Day, the gold standard for what happened, but it wasn't good.
I understood why Scott Borchetta picked it for him. I understood why he gave him that.
This song's epic. It's huge.
It's a big song for a big voice.
And I don't understand what Clark did with it.
See the world in green and blue. See China right in front of you.
In theory, Earned It was the perfect song choice for Clark, but in execution, it needed to get here and it just got to there.
I'ma care for you.
You know, Clark has always been the Christian boy coming into this, and it may have been like a bit of a stretch to do like 50 Shades of Grey.
And I think that hesitancy read on his face for the opening part of the performance.
You make it look like it's magic.
And I think that was maybe what Harry was alluding to.
Find the intensity in the beginning of the song, too. I've been noticing that a little bit. First note you sing, you know?
Me too, thank you.
In the past, he has shown that when he's singing in the lower register, he doesn't show that he feels it the same. He has never shown that he feels it the same. When he gets up high and kind of closes his eyes and throws his head back a little bit, that's when you can tell, like, oh, now he's into it.
He makes his feeling it face and does that. Tough question for you.
Okay.
If you were deciding to send one person home short of the finale, who would it be, and who do you think America will choose to send home? Do you want me to go first?
Yes, you go first.
I think it should be Clark who falls just short of the finale. I wish it was a 3-person finale because I think it would be interesting to see the 3 of them throw down one more time. Who will it be? I predicted Clark in my written recap, so I'm going to stick with it, but I'm starting to become scared that it could be Jax. Okay, your turn.
Ugh. This is so mean. It's so mean.
You took golden tickets away from Daniel Seavey and all those nice children.
Fine. I would like to see Jax and Clark in the finale. I think it will be Clark. I think it will be Clark.
He's taken more risks and he's been more interesting than Nick. But I think he falls short in the feeling it department. For me, the older I get, the more I need to feel it. I can't listen to someone who's not feeling it.
He feels it in his vocal. He's just got to feel it in his face. That can happen. It happened with Carrie Underwood. It can happen with anyone.
Let's just think about Kimberly Nichole's back bend and everything will be right in the world. My arm just involuntarily started going back and forth.
I know.
It's like Willow Smith's hair.
Oh, with my hair back and forth, with my hair.
Do that verse part.
Hop up out the bed to my swag gone. Pay no attention to the mother's eye. Just with them on. That's all you got.
We'll just let her take it out from there.
With my hair back and forth, out with my hair back and forth, out with my hair back and forth.